She spent 20 years cleaning other people's houses just to feed one boy. Nobody in that mansion knew her real name was already on the deed. Before her son could inherit everything, his mother had to find out who actually deserved it. And the woman he almost married would do anything to make sure it wasn't her. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Ruth Mercer was 19 when she believed a man named Walter loved her. She was wrong. WALTER, I'm not ready to be a father, Ruth. I never promised you forever. Ruth, you promised me a lot of things, Walter. This baby doesn't care what you're ready for. WLTR, then that's your problem now, not mine. Her own mother didn't take the news any better. Under my roof, a baby with no father and no ring. Pack your things before your father wakes up. Mama, please, I have nowhere else to go. You should have thought of that before you shamed this family. Ruth found a one-room apartment above a laundromat in a town called Millbrook. She cleaned houses during the day and took an ironing at night. 9 months later, she had a son. She named him Daniel. It's just you and me now, and I promise you that will be enough. She worked 2 jobs. She skipped meals so he wouldn't, and every night she told him the same thing. You are going to be somebody, Daniel, not because of me, because of you. Okay, Mama, I won't ask again. He never did, not once in 18 years. Daniel Mercer graduated top of his class in computer engineering, on a scholarship his mother cried the day he got the letter for. By 29, he'd built a small payment software company out of a garage. By 33, Mercer Tech Solutions was worth 11 figures. Daniel, on the phone, walking into his mother's small house, Mama, we did it. Ruth says you didn't waste my tears, my son. Now sit down and eat before this business eats you first. 5 minutes, Mama, I promise. Ruth still lived in the same small house. Daniel had begged her for years to move into the new house he'd bought on the hill. Mama, there's a guest wing just sitting empty. I like my small house, Daniel, but I do want to hear about this woman you keep mentioning. Daniel, smiling, her name is Vanessa. She's a stylist for some of the biggest names in the city. Confident, beautiful, put together in a way I've never seen. You've never brought her here. She's busy, Mama. I promise you'll meet her soon. Something in Ruth's stomach turned the moment he said her name. She didn't know why yet, but she would. 3 weeks later, walking home from the market, Ruth was grabbed from behind by a man trying to take her purse. Mugger, give me the bag, old woman, or I swear. Let her go, right now. Mugger, mind your business. Grace, let her go or I'm calling the police standing right there. Try me. Thank you, my dear. I don't know what would have happened. It's nothing, ma'am. Are you hurt? Let me walk you the rest of the way just to be sure. Her name was Grace Bennett. She didn't know who Ruth was. She helped anyway. Ruth, to herself later, a stranger risked her safety for an old woman she'd never met. Who is this girl? Ruth asked around. Grace worked as a receptionist at Mercer Tech Solutions, Daniel's own company. Do you know a young woman named Grace? She works the front desk at your office. Grace, she's wonderful, most organized person I've ever worked with. Why? She saved me from a mugging last week. Didn't know who I was, didn't ask for anything. Daniel, quiet for a moment, she never even mentioned it. I wish your Vanessa had a heart like that. Mama, Grace is. She's simple, sweet, hardworking, but simple. Vanessa is sophisticated. She fits the life I've built. Sophistication doesn't raise children with kindness, Daniel. Character does. Ruth couldn't shake the feeling, so she made a decision that would change everything. Ruth told Daniel she wanted to test her. Let me move into the house, not as your mother, as the new maid. If she treats a powerless old woman with respect, I'll bless this marriage myself. If she doesn't. Mama, that feels extreme. If you want my blessing, you'll let me do this. How someone treats a person they think is beneath them tells you everything. From that day, Ruth Mercer became Nell, the new housekeeper. Vanessa arrives with bags. Someone get these upstairs. And be careful, that vase is worth more than your salary, I'd imagine. It only got worse from there. Nell, this food is cold. Do I need to explain your job to you twice? I'm sorry, ma'am. I'll bring it back warm right away. Was I too hard on her? Please. These people start feeling entitled if you're too nice to them. Daniel watched through the crack of a door, his stomach in knots. Daniel, whispering, Mama was right to worry. Can't you move any faster, old woman? It's like watching a snail cross the kitchen. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'll be quicker. I don't even know why Daniel keeps you around. You're barely useful. Then, one afternoon, Grace stopped by the house to drop off a file Daniel had forgotten. It's you. I didn't know you worked here. Nell, stop standing there gossiping and get back to work. Excuse me, was that necessary? She hasn't done anything wrong. And who exactly are you to question how I speak to my staff? Someone who believes people deserve respect no matter their job title. If you're done, I have somewhere to be. Before she left, Grace turned back to Ruth one more time. Grace, quietly, if you ever need anything or need somewhere to go, my door's open. Nobody deserves to be spoken to like that. Ruth had seen enough, but the worst was still coming. Later that week, Ruth overheard something that stopped her cold, Vanessa, on the phone, laughing with a friend. I'm pregnant, and obviously it isn't Daniel's. We've never even been intimate, thanks to his mother's ridiculous wait until marriage rule. If I don't act fast tonight, I lose my golden ticket. I'll put something in his drink. He won't remember a thing, and by morning he'll think the baby is his. Ruth's hands went cold around her cup. Not my son, not tonight. That evening, Vanessa handed Daniel a drink. You look exhausted. This will help you relax, baby. Daniel, wait, don't drink that. Nell, what's gotten into you? I know what she put in that glass. This old woman is losing her mind, Daniel. I think it's time she left this house. Daniel, it's time you knew the truth. This isn't Nell the housekeeper. This is your mother. And this was a test from the beginning. Mama. I heard everything, Vanessa. The pregnancy, the drink, all of it. I can explain. I was joking with a friend. You know how women talk. You called drugging me, and passing off another man's child as mine a joke. Please, I love you. I was scared of losing you. Love doesn't manipulate, Vanessa. Pack your things, leave tonight. Daniel sat with his mother, long after Vanessa was gone. How do I know the next person actually wants me, Mama? Not what I have. Sometimes the right person has already shown you who they are, my son. You just weren't looking at her the right way. Grace. She was kind when she had nothing to gain. Twice. Daniel began spending time with Grace outside the office. Small dinners, long walks, nothing extravagant. You don't have to impress me, Daniel. I like simple things. After Vanessa, I stopped trusting anyone's intentions. You were hurt. That doesn't mean everyone is hiding something. But an old fear crept back in. Daniel needed to be certain, completely certain, before he let himself fall again. One more test, one last risk. He staged the collapse of his entire company. Fake headlines, a fake bank seizure, a small rented apartment. He told no one the truth, not even his mother knew how far he'd take it this time. Mercer Tech Solutions has reportedly collapsed after a string of failed investments. Daniel on a phone call with his old friend. James, I need advice. I don't know how to rebuild from this. Look, man, I've got my own stuff going on. Maybe we should keep some distance for a while. One by one, the friends who circled him for years disappeared. His country club stopped returning his calls. His golf partners found other tea times. Even the woman he'd been quietly seeing since Vanessa, a boutique owner named Claire, sent one final text and vanished. Claire, I think it's best we take a break until things settle down for you. Take care, Daniel. Daniel stared at the message for a long time. Then he set the phone face down and didn't check it again. Only one person kept showing up. Grace, arriving with groceries, I brought you something to eat. I figured you might forget to, with everything going on. You don't have to do this, Grace. I know, I want to. You are not your money, Daniel, you never were. Weeks passed. She kept coming back with food, with encouragement, never once asking for anything. You built something once. You can build it again, smaller if you have to. Consulting first. Use what you already know. Grace, why are you still here? Everyone else left. I've cared about you since the day I met you, Daniel. Not for what you had, for who you are. The final test was over. Daniel could no longer carry the lie. Grace, I need to tell you something. The bankruptcy, the apartment, none of it was real. I faked it. I needed to know if you'd stay. You lied to me, to test me. I know I don't deserve it, but I'm asking for your forgiveness anyway. You hurt me, Daniel, but I understand why you were afraid. Just never test me like that again. Never again, I promise you that. He brought her to the house on the hill. The real one, still standing, never seized at all. Wait, none of this was ever gone. No more lies. Grace, I'd like you to properly meet my mother, Ruth Mercer. You were the housekeeper, you're his mother. I am, and I've watched you show this family more kindness than anyone who ever had something to gain from it. Grace Bennett, you've shown me what real love looks like when there's nothing left to prove. Will you marry me? Yes, Daniel, yes. 6 months later, Ruth Mercer stood in the front row, watching her son marry a woman who once fought off a mugger for a stranger she thought had nothing at all. I raised him alone. I was disowned for loving too young and trusting the wrong man. But every tear carried us here to this. My son didn't need riches to find real love. He needed the truth. And so did I. Mama, I couldn't have done any of this without you. My work is done now, son. Build your home on truth, not fear. When money comes, stay humble. When trouble comes, stay together. Love didn't come late for Daniel Mercer. It came right on time.